down to the final four. It ain't March, but there's gonna be some madness here. See how I did that? Shoot, brick. Here we go. Lamar Jackson versus Patrick Mahomes. That's basically what it is. Let's be honest. That's what the story's gonna be. That's what the headline's gonna be. Even though we know it's the Ravens versus the Chiefs, and what the reason we got to put some respect on that is because that Raven defense ain't no joke. That offense got a plethora of weapons. I was like, but Kansas City got Kelsey and Mahomes. More emphasis on Mahomes because you can sort of like get Kelsey to a jam. Don't get me wrong. They got Rice, they got Pacheco, but you get where I'm getting at. But that defense for the Chiefs ain't nothing to play with either. So they also have the people to keep up with Lamar. I believe they'll take a lot from the Texas game to try to do that. I was like, I don't know or not if Willie Gay is going to play, being that he was the guy that was going to try to keep an eye on Josh Allen. You would expect that he might also be the one to try to keep his hands on Lamar Jackson as well. But let's be honest. I was like, we really are here of, can Patrick Mahomes really overcome everything that the Baltimore Ravens have? And that's the only reason we think there's even remotely of a chance here. It's really just because they got Patrick Mahomes. Like even though that defense is really good, we still like that offense. Lamar Jackson is still dynamic enough to beat them. You could beat really any defense pretty much, especially when you got a top end caliber quarterback. But that's a different ordeal when it's like, oh yeah, he got Bateman, Aguilar, Flowers, Likely, Beckham, Andrews might come back. You got the running threats of all three of their running back with Cook, Edwards, and Hill, and Lamar himself. And they got a pretty good offensive line. So therefore, you got a whole thing on that side. Where like Patrick Mahomes, I already named 3 people, and that's all I got named. There ain't nobody else. Yes, Scantling might do a little bit here and there, but so I was like, and even the defense for for Baltimore, not for Baltimore, for the Chiefs. Look, we found out that yeah, you could blitz them, but after a while, Lamar seems to pick that up. I was like, I think there's just too many playmakers. I think there's too many. I think their matchups is more greater than what the defense can provide of answers for the Chiefs. So it's really like if Mahomes can get up early on the Ravens, like say there's like a pick here or they get the ball to start. And Lamar they let Lamar and them look rusty like how they did against the Texans, where it was just like a bunch of 3 and outs, and they sort of let Houston be in the game. I think that's where it gets a little bit like you spink the Titans. So I was like, I think from that standpoint, that's where it's like, oh man. But I'll put it like this: but if the Ravens could get up, I think 14-0 or no, I shouldn't even say 14-0 because I was like, Mahomes is going to score. But I think if he could get up like 14 points, I won't say like 10. 10 still is like, I think because I was like, or they just limit Mahomes to nothing but field goals, while the Ravens score touchdowns, almost like how the Chiefs did against the Bills, well, not that game, not that game. But anyway, you get what I'm saying. I'm gonna go with the Ravens here. I think they got too much of an overall team. I think Lamar needs this. I think they're just probably bigger stories. I think the linebackers are going to be really crucial because with their linebackers and their safeties, they can cover. They can cover Kelsey, but they can also cover them wide receiver. Because like I said, none of them, and I was like, Humphrey's supposed to come back as well. So I think their cover skills and their speed really will throw a loop of everything that the Chiefs try to do because they don't have speed like that. You got to be you got to really be on some fundamentals, some smart shit. And not saying like the other team not smart, but I was like, you got to be really like, oh, I can't do that. I got to stay right here, kind of thing. And it's just like, do they have enough to overcome all those? Yet alone the line that's gonna be coming through the Chiefs line that's been iffy. Yeah, I think this is just too much for the Chiefs to overcome. It's not the same way as them beating the Bills because they had injuries on that side. The Ravens are pretty much getting hella healthy. So I was like, unless there's like an injury to like Lamar. Yeah, I was like Ravens all day. Next game, 49ers and Lions. I think while I can see the Chiefs Ravens game score being like the Bills game where it's like there's a lot of points, but the defense still plays really like they play really good, against each other, like a bend don't break type of thing. This one, I think this one gonna be hard ass hitting. I don't think I was like unlike the previous game, it's not gonna be like that. I don't think it's gonna be air miles like that. I think this is all gonna be give it to your playmakers and just see what the hell happens. I think that's what Goff is going to play like. I think that's what Purdy going to play like. I think it's going to be just a lot of like, let's see who got the best playmakers and who defense come up with stops. And who can we make of these quarterbacks look like they average. I was like, Brock Purdy and Goff too. I'm like, they're not the same. They're not the dynamic quarterbacks in that way. They're really good job of analyzing the play and knowing how to throw the ball to get to their playmakers to either score, get all that other stuff. Cause that's the type of teams they got. I was like McCaffrey, Gibbs, I was like Jameson, Ayuk, Amar St. Brown, Debo Samuel, Laporta, Kittle. They're really mirror images of each other. Big. I was like, but I think the Lions have the better offensive line to go against the decently, kind of Kinlaw's good and Bosa's great. So I was like, they can match up better. I was like, their linebackers are really athletic, so that's sort of where, Montgomery and Gibbs got to do their job. But I was like, but they could be had on the back end. While on the other side, I was like, the Lions. I was like, Alex and Aiden. And then I was like, you got Branch and CJ. And then there's little spots here where they just don't give up the big home run. I don't think they'll give up the big home run. I think this is going to, don't get me wrong, there's going to be a lot of yaks here, but I don't think it's going to be the big play that just feel crushing. But to be honest, to me, whatever defense can get Goff or Purdy to play erratic, because neither one of them are dynamic enough to where they can overcome the craziness of the pocket in a way that like Mahomes, Lamar, Allen can sort of do. So they got to be on a more time scale rhythm, and that's why I think the Lions will win, because I think they just got more in the trenches a bit. Because I think the 49ers stuff got named, but I think it's been overstated. But I think Lions got more in the trenches, and I think they just got a bit more of a better quarterback. I think that's really because of their line. I think the Lions offensive line will play a significant role than the 49ers that really just got Trent Williams and a bunch of people that just like, hey, Brock Purdy, throw that hole. That's it. But yeah. So I'm going with a Ravens-Lions win. I was like in this gear that wasn't purposely done. Yeah. I was like, they hired a coach I don't know nothing about. Yeah, so maybe we'll figure out more about that. But anyway, hoping for at least some good games. That's my top of my list. Then everything else is just like, oh, Lamar, I hope he win, hope the Lions win. Then it's like, but if I'm not, I get Patrick Mahomes. I don't care about the 49ers really like that. But anyway, hopefully we get some great games. I know I'm just repeating myself. You know what? Look, I'm out. Have fun this weekend. Sunday. Yeah, they're both on Sunday. Awesome.